Nutrition, when done right, can create more health than all the pills and procedures combined. Dr. Colin Campbell's bold claim challenges everything we think we know about healthcare. In this video, we'll uncover the #1 solution that the medical system is ignoring and how it could revolutionize your health. Hey there, thriving beings. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest revelations in health and nutrition, brought to you by none other than Dr. Colin Campbell. You may have heard of him through his groundbreaking research in the China study, which he co-authored, and/or his work in the plant-based nutrition movement. But what you might not know is how this solution he's about to share could be the key to preventing and even reversing some of the most common diseases we face today. And here's the kicker. Most of the medical community isn't paying attention to it. Let's jump in and uncover this hidden gem together. Dr. Colin Campbell opens his talk with a startling statement that serves as a foundation for this discussion.
Nutrition is not taught in medical schools. There's not a medical school in the United States that properly teaches nutrition.
This is an alarming revelation considering how critical nutrition is to our overall health. Medical schools across the country focus on teaching students about pharmaceuticals, surgical procedures, and other treatments. But nutrition, the very foundation of health, is overlooked. This creates a gap in our healthcare system, one that leaves doctors ill-equipped to address one of the most vital aspects of healing: what we eat.
Of the 130 medical specialties that we now have, not one is called nutrition.
Dr. Campbell continues, "It's shocking to realize that while the medical profession has specialists for every kind of illness and procedure, there's no dedicated field within mainstream medicine that focuses on nutrition. Instead, the healthcare system prioritizes treating symptoms with drugs and surgery, rather than preventing disease through dietary choices. In essence, the very people we trust to keep us healthy are not given the tools they need to offer nutritional guidance. And even if they wanted to, they are not incentivized to do so," Dr. Campbell explains.
And secondly, even if they didn't know something about it and they got some training, they're not really going to be able to get reimbursed for services.
This lack of financial incentive makes it difficult for doctors to incorporate nutritional advice into their practice, leading to a system that promotes treatment over prevention. One of the central themes of Dr. Campbell's talk is the power of whole foods. He argues that,
namely, nutrition, when done right, can create more health than all the pills and procedures combined.
This simple yet profound idea is one that Dr. Campbell has spent decades researching, and his findings suggest that whole plant-based foods are the key to preventing and even reversing many chronic diseases. But what exactly does he mean by done right? Dr. Campbell emphasizes that it's not enough to focus on individual nutrients or isolated supplements. Instead, the focus must be on eating whole foods in their natural state.
Whole foods. Not the individual nutrients and food fragments within them,
he says. This is a critical distinction because when we break food down into its components, we lose the synergy that makes it so effective for our health. Let's consider an example. Many people take vitamin supplements in the hopes of improving their health, but Dr. Campbell points out that
nutrients taken out of food, out of the context, do not do exactly the same thing for the most part that they do when they're in food.
In other words, isolated nutrients like vitamin C or calcium don't have the same effect when they are taken as supplements, compared to when they are consumed as part of a whole fruit or vegetable. The reason for this is simple. Nature has designed foods to contain a complex mixture of nutrients that work together in harmony. When we eat an orange, for example, we're not just getting vitamin C, we're also getting fiber, antioxidants, and other compounds that enhance the effectiveness of the nutrients. This is why eating whole, plant-based foods is far more beneficial than relying on supplements. Another common misconception that Dr. Campbell addresses is the idea that we need animal products for protein. For years, the belief that animal protein is superior has been widespread. But Dr. Campbell debunks this myth, stating,
"Plants provide all the protein we need."
The recommended amount of protein is around 8 to 10% of total calories, which can easily be obtained from a plant-based diet. Dr. Campbell argues that we don't need to consume animal products to meet our protein requirements.
We do not need to eat animal foods to get the animal protein.
He explains. This is because plant-based foods contain all the essential amino acids our bodies need to build protein. In fact, eating too much animal protein can have harmful effects. Dr. Campbell shares a compelling study from his research that shows how animal protein can promote cancer growth.
If we feed them, on the other hand, the higher levels of protein, 20%, we get lots of cancer.
This study highlights the dangers of consuming too much animal protein and how reducing it in favor of plant-based proteins can significantly lower the risk of disease. But it doesn't stop there. Dr. Campbell's research also revealed that the body can switch cancer growth on and off depending on the levels of protein consumed.
Switch it to 5%, it turns it off. 20%, we turned it back on again. 5%, we turned it off.
He says, this groundbreaking discovery shows that the type and amount of protein we consume has a direct impact on our health, particularly when it comes to preventing diseases like cancer. So why isn't this life-saving information more widely known? According to Dr. Campbell, the problem lies in the way our healthcare system is structured.
Corporate influence is such now that we keep falling back on pills and procedures.
He explains, the pharmaceutical industry plays a major role in shaping the way healthcare is delivered, and as a result, there is little emphasis on nutrition as a means of prevention. Dr. Campbell goes even further to say that the system is seriously corrupted from top to bottom. He isn't afraid to call out the deep-rooted issues within the medical and pharmaceutical industries that prioritize profit over patient health. Instead of focusing on preventing disease through diet and lifestyle, the system is built around treating illness with expensive drugs and surgeries. This approach is not only less effective, but it's also incredibly costly. The United States spends more on healthcare per capita than any other country, yet it has some of the worst health outcomes. Dr. Campbell argues that this is because the system is focused on managing disease rather than preventing it.
We're losing track of what really matters.
He says, but there is hope. Dr. Campbell believes that by shifting our focus from treatment to prevention, we can create a healthcare system that truly promotes health and well-being. And the best way to do this? Through the power of whole, plant-based foods. Dr. Campbell's message is clear. We don't need to rely on drugs and surgeries to maintain our health.
Instead of relying on single chemicals, be they drugs or whatever else, to correct the problem, now we can simply look at this kind of food to start doing it.
He explains, by eating a diet rich in whole, plant-based foods, we can prevent and even reverse many of the chronic diseases that plague modern society. What's even more exciting is how quickly the benefits of this approach can be seen.
Within 10 days, 2 weeks or so, you can see remarkable changes occur in our sort of biochemistries, if you will.
Dr. Campbell shares, in just a short period, the body begins to heal itself, without the need for expensive medications or invasive procedures. This is a game changer for anyone looking to improve their health naturally. One of the most powerful aspects of Dr. Campbell's message is that nutrition can be used not only to prevent disease, but also to treat existing conditions.
The kind of diet that actually prevents future problems, when it's done right, actually can be used to treat existing problems.
He says, this is a revolutionary idea because it shifts the focus from managing symptoms to addressing the root cause of disease. By adopting a whole food, plant-based diet, individuals can take control of their health and reduce their reliance on pharmaceuticals and medical interventions. Dr. Campbell's work has shown that diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer can be prevented, and in some cases, reversed, through dietary changes. This is a powerful message for anyone looking to take control of their health and make lasting changes. Dr. Campbell concludes his talk with a powerful call to action.
Let's redesign nutrition. I call it nutrition renaissance.
He envisions a future where nutrition is taken seriously by the medical community and is at the forefront of healthcare. This nutrition renaissance would involve rethinking the way we approach food and health. Rather than focusing on isolated nutrients and supplements, we would return to whole, plant-based foods as the foundation of our diets. This shift would not only improve individual health, but also reduce the burden on the healthcare system and lower healthcare costs for society as a whole. So, thriving beings, the message is clear. Nutrition is the #1 solution that healthcare ignores, but you don't have to. Dr. Campbell has shown us the power of whole, plant-based foods to transform our health and prevent disease. It's time to take control and thrive. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more empowering content. And hey, drop a comment below to let us know what plant-based foods you're adding to your diet. Let's keep thriving together.